Also part of the Dallas Wings in the house tonight. Good to see her recuperating from knee surgery, and the Wings have the basketball. Now, we saw in that last game that the Wings upset Chicago. They attacked. Same kind of mentality tonight?
They did, and they didn't just attack, Ron, with the ball in Enrique's hands. They moved the ball really well and were able to find and distort defenses off the ball.
Glory Johnson knocks down the three. The last 5 games, she was just 2 of 19 from beyond the arc.
To have another player, if not 2 more players out of the Dallas Wings roster be big-time scorers in this game gives them a chance, as we see the hometown woman here, Ariel Atkins, take the lid off for the Mystics.
And Ariel Atkins, of course, played at Duncanville, has a scorer's mentality. Great job at the University of Texas, along with Brooke McCarty-Williams, a very potent backcourt. Gray with a left hand off the glass over Miesemann.
I love that set that Dallas runs, and they're intentional in being able to get Alicia Gray coming off that handoff action, heading downhill towards the tunnel. But she's heading with her left hand, which is her strong suit. And we see Miesemann just a little late in that rotation.
And here is Alicia Gray. Went over 1,000 career points this year. Outstanding free throw shooter at 85%. And the Wings open up a 4-point advantage. But watch this Mystic offense. They space the floor as well as anybody in the league.
I've watched this Mystic offense a lot, and I think Elena Delle Donne's feeling very comfortable in it right now. But I've, in preparation for this game, just found myself obsessing over this film. And honestly, when you just look at all basketball, you'd have to compare their offenses with some of the best in all of the game, including the Warriors.
I would agree 100%. And Mike Thibault telling me before the game, this team's got incredible chemistry. Kayla Davis pulls down the miss. One of the things, the keys for Dallas offensively is attack.
It's not easy to do against this defense of Washington, and I know there's a lot of talk about their offense, but they're a very good defensive team as well. They can switch 1 through 5. They really play this game without a true center.
Alicia Gray had the layup, and Elena Delle Donne has one too. But I think Gray realized that Delle Donne was there with her 34 blocks, wanting to make it 35. And all of a sudden, the Mystics take the 1-point advantage. Set great screens. Another goal for Dallas tonight. Glory Johnson.
We've seen Glory get hot from that 3-point line. And when she can find the bottom of the net and confidence early from the 3, that can really affect what the Mystics are going to do defensively.
But you got to cover the 3-point shooters, and Delle Donne knocks down her second.
Ron, look how quickly the Mystics move the ball. Nobody holds the ball in one place or in one person's hands longer than 2 seconds. They play click, click, click basketball.
When you watch them on tape, nobody takes 3 or 4 dribbles. Glory Johnson, her first miss. Delle Donne with the rebound. Elena Delle Donne averaging just almost 8 rebounds a ball game. Latoya Sanders, Miesemann, the former starter, coming off the bench, knocks down the 3.
Well, that's that 3-point line that I so fortuitously mentioned in the opening about how you've got to guard the 3 for Dallas. They cannot sit back. They've got to get proactive, push them off their spot early, and don't let people find catches open out at the 3.
Izzy Harrison's first shot off the mark, and all of a sudden it's a 4-point advantage. Here comes Delle Donne. Glory Johnson gets the job of protecting her. Here's Miesemann. Fall away, tough shot, doesn't get it. Nice offensive rebound. Sanders with a putback.
Sanders is the smallest 5 in the WNBA at just 6'2", 6'3", 6'3" if she stretches and gets in a yoga class the day before. But she doesn't let that be a hindrance to her as she continues to impact the game.
Now, Elena Delle Donne already with 8 points in the ball game comes in, as we saw, averaging just under 19 a game. And the Mystics have the advantage over the Dallas Wings.
Welcome back to the College Park Center. The Wings trailing the Mystics by 15, and a big reason for the Mystics' success this season and in this game so far, Elena Delle Donne. Now, a motivating factor for her younger sister Lizzie, who has special needs, and because of that, Elena actually teamed up with Nike to create a sneaker that was unveiled Tuesday. It incorporates a material that makes it easier for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities to put on the shoe and take it off. They're lace-free. They have an expandable opening, and Elena does a ton to promote inclusion. She is also a Special Olympics global ambassador.
She is a special individual, but you and I have been talking about the shoes. We saw the Nike people, the prototype and everything. It is impressive the way you just slide your foot in, and the back of the shoe almost comes up automatically.
They're awesome, and the idea is that they would not just be excellent for all types of athletes, whether it's professional or women's basketball or men's basketball or college, but also they want to include athletes that do have some unique differences, whether, you know, it is her sister Lizzie, again, who is her inspiration. Great job, Katie, in introducing us to that shoe. Nike Zoom Universe is what they're called.
It is very impressive. Well, Emma Miesemann has also been impressive. She was on the All-Star team back in 2015.
I love this woman and her development, and she's just going to continue to get better and better as she grows her game, but she also values the opportunity to play on this roster with great players around her. They allow her to be herself. She's not the most talkative out there and outgoing, but she feels like she can be herself,
right,
which allows her to be her best as a player.
Carly Samuelson making her first appearance in a Wings uniform. Just joined the team up in Chicago. Shot clock at 6. Here's Glory. Couple of threes. Tough follow, ain't got it. Glory Johnson on fire early on in this ball game.
You can surround Glory with the ball in the tunnel with shooters. She's going to find opportunities there to be able to create some scoring for herself.
Alicia Gray from the right side just gets around Sanders.
I'll tell you, that's how you come out of a timeout, y'all. You're on a 4-2 run.
There you go.
And it starts with the defensive end. That's how Brian Agler has built this team, and he wants their identity to be consistent with building it off of defense.
Now the Mystics 7 of 9 shooting. Della Don off the mark. Gray pulls it away. Needs a little bit of help into the hands of Arike Ogunbowale out of Notre Dame. 5th overall pick by the Dallas Wings in this last draft. She has seen a lot of doubles the last month and a half. Izzy Harrison over Della Don.
We've been singing a lot of praises for Washington, but one thing they are not great at is defending the paint.
Right.
They give up more points in the paint than anybody else in the WNBA, but they trade those twos for their threes. When you go 2, 4, 6, 8, that doesn't equal 3, 6, 9, 12. So good luck with that math.
You didn't tell me there was math tonight. Huh?
That's the TCU environment I'm surrounded by.
There you go. Samuelson hands it off Ogunbowale. Shot clock inside of 10. Lead is 6. Arike, tough shot. Got it, and she'll go to the line.
How many times are we going to see plays like this out of the rookie? It's like every time she touches the ball, we get a highlight clip. Right here, she just keeps Cloud on her heels and changes direction so quickly, and her ability not just to change direction left, right, but from the ground up is really special.
You know, prior to that Chicago game, we got the note from the Wings that she was sick and was doubtful for the game. Well, she was so sick, she knocked in 35.
Wow.
I know, really. Complain. Here's Della Don. Miesemann posting up on Johnson. They don't show the double. Sanders inside. Got it. Fans thought there might have been a travel. That was just a good move by LaToya Sanders.
There's a lot of times when you watch Washington play, when Miesemann's in, they run more of their horns out action. But right now, they're going into her in the paint and really forcing Dallas to have to account for her inside and some of that great off-ball movement.
Be ready to shoot. Another key for Dallas. Alicia Gray was.
A little bit of a war of attrition right now.
Yeah, it is.
Hitting a lot of threes, both ends of the floor.
Washington 4 of 4. The Wings 3 of 4 from beyond the arc. That's a tough cover for Samuelson, and Della Don just goes right around her. Count it, and she'll go to the line.
Again, that's not just accidental that Elena Della Don gets the ball in the post. This team does such a great job of recognizing mismatches and how to set each other up for success. They are unselfish in how they share the ball. And they know Elena against Samuelson inside should equal a high percentage shot.
Elena Delle Donne, the second fastest in WNBA history to get 3,500 points. In just under a week, she'll be celebrating her birthday. That'll be on September the 5th. 93 of 96 from the free throw line for Elena Delle Donne, best in the WNBA.
Well, her key to success, from what I hear, is just keep it simple, stupid.
There you go.
She doesn't do a whole lot of tricks when she's going into that free throw.
What a move by Arike Ogunbowale. Walker Kimbrough got tied up, but she couldn't hit the shot. And it'll be the Mystics' ball, leading by 5.
I think Christina Nigwe is a very important cog to the Mystics defense right now. She has the ability to guard a lot of positions on the floor, and with the size that the Mystics are bringing right now, they need her to guard.
Eastman around to Nigwe. Thought she had the block, a foul instead. That's something Mike Thibault was saying. With Aerial Powers out, the reason they started Meesseman is to get bigger.
Yeah, well, she's got so much versatility to her game. There's so much talk, obviously, about what an Elena Delle Donne brings to the Mystics, but she can't be as good as she is without players like Meesseman doing what she does. They can play off of each other so well, and I liken them to Aneka and Candace for LA, and how they can just really play off of each other with the paint and the perimeter.
7 of the last 8 games, Meesseman has been in double figures. And she ups the Mystic lead to 7 as we close in on 2 minutes to play. Once again, important game for Washington. They've lost the season series with Connecticut, dropped the first 2 in the series, then came back and crushed Connecticut 102-59, but they want that top seed. Shot clock at 3. Johnson with 2 rejected by Meesseman.
I think Washington's a little upset at that whistle being blown right there. They felt like they had possession of the ball. We're going to see shot clocks winding down here, and Glory has the ball. She recognizes it, but look at the length that Meesseman provides here out on the perimeter. You're used to seeing a player of her stature only be able to really change shots in the paint, but she's able to guard off the catch and the bounce on the perimeter.
That was her 11th block. Meesseman out of Belgium. Back it in. Fall away over Anigwe. No. Rebound taken away by Harrison. Her first rebound of the ball game. Wings actually played Washington close in the first meeting. Only trailed by 10 going into the fourth quarter. And then Washington just ran away from it in that final stanza.
Well, here's what happens, too, when teams play Washington, is they start to try and play Washington style of play, as we've seen Natasha Cloud find an easy bucket. They start to play faster than they want to, or shoot quick.
Right.
But you can't do that if you're not getting great shots. It's not going to help you win. And Washington's able to do that because they have 5 scorers on the floor that have the versatility to create constant mismatches at all times.
Glory Johnson hit her first couple of shots, have missed her last couple. Ogunbowale with 48 seconds to play in the first. Nice pass, Anigwe inside, but that's going to be an offensive foul. Nice job by Tiana Hawkins.
Tiana Hawkins read that like a hawk.
Exactly.
She saw that coming. You can see Arike coming down that lane, and she took the charge after the pass, which is very permissible, and great job defensively and being proactive in that rotation.
Well, Hawkins had 21 in the game versus Dallas, the first game. That at that time was her career high. She was 7 of 9 from 3. Delle Donne floats the right-hander. That's going to be a loose ball foul, and that will be called on Shatori Walker Kimbrough.
I was waiting to see when Dallas and who was going to be the first one to fall for that Elena Delle Donne pump fake.
Exactly.
She's so well known for. It's hard to stay down. Everybody's probably got on their scouting report, don't go for the fake, but she can take that shot as easily, so you know you've got to contest. It's near impossible to not go for one of them.
You know, when you look at the scouting report, it's don't buy the fakes. Hold your ground. Rick Barry, when I did games with him, the Hall of Famer, said, don't be a part of the Paratrooper Club. Anigwe tries the up and under, doesn't get it. Knocked out by Kayla Davis. 8.6 to play in the quarter.
They needed a little bit better off-ball movement on
Right.
that backside. That also probably would have set up maybe not just a dump pass there, but a rebounding position. But Christina Nigwe is going to settle herself down as she gets more and more experience. I think she just did a little bit too much on that move.
Aisha Hines-Allen from Louisville comes in for the final 7 seconds. Beastman for 3, knocks it down.
It's 5 for 5 from the three-point line right now. And look, they're all good threes. They're open, uncontested threes.
Beastman, 14 points in the first quarter. And that's the reason the Mystics have the big lead. But Elena Delle Donne, she's done her part inside and outside. Enrique Ogunbowale only with 3 points in the ball game, but this one was pretty.
Welcome back to the College Park Center. Joining us now is Wings assistant coach Erin Phillips. The Mystics 100% from the three-point line. How do you limit their production these next 3 quarters?
We've got to get out there on the catch and make them put it to the floor. We know that they're a great three-point shooting team. You know, I think we've lacked that this first quarter, obviously, but, you know, hopefully a response in the second.
What are your overall thoughts on your team's performance in this first quarter?
Well, we've got to get stops. I mean, we've got to get stops and start running. I mean, this 33 points is a ridiculous number of points to give a team, but this is a team that can get points like that. So defensively, a better effort, follow the scout a bit better, and convert in the offensive end.
Thank you for the time. Best of luck.
Well, Skylar Diggins-Smith is not playing again tonight. I'm not sure if she's going to be here for the final game coming up next week. But also want to take a moment to congratulate Greg, Erin Phillips' dad. He was Coach of the Year over in Australia, actually playing in the finals coming up next week. Congratulations, Dad.
Well, I love that interview that we finally see the Mystics miss a three.
Finally.
But that interview shows you the difference between a coach and a sideline reporter. Katie asked that question with a huge smile on her face. How do you stop them from the three-point line? Erin didn't crack a single smile in that answer.
But you made a great point on who's hitting the threes for Washington.
Yeah, well, who's taking the threes even? Are all their post players, their bigger players, their 3, 4, 5 men, not their 1 and their 2?
Natasha Cloud, who is a smart player, having an outstanding year. And when I watch her on tape, I get the sense that she gets the team organized out there.
She does. She does a great job. And obviously, this is a team that's missing Christy Tolliver, who is a true point guard. But Natasha Cloud's so ready to take on that floor general role as we see the Mystics turn the ball over, give it to the potential rookie of the year.
She's got 5, Enrique does, and the lead is cut down to 10. Go inside to Hawkins. Enrique tried to reach in. Nice steal, Davis. Walker Kimbrough to beat, and she does.
Listen, when Dallas can get out into those passing lanes, not only does it set them up for opportunities for deflections and steals and open court scoring, but it also puts them right on that offensive player when they get that catch, which will help guard the three-point line.
Anigwe has to come out to Meisman, try to get a step. Now posts in the right block, and she is going to be fouled. Let's go back to the steal again by Kayla Davis.
Well, this is what Erin Phillips talked about in the interview, saying we've got to get out to the three-point shooters early, proactively. And when you do that, they might throw the ball right to your hands, which is what we see there with Kayla Davis in transition.
Her 18th steal. Glory Johnson will come back into the lineup. Anigwe will go out for Dallas. Once again on the bench for Dallas tonight, Kayla Thornton with an ankle. Amani McGee-Stafford with an ankle and knee. Taylor Hill, blown out knee. And, of course, Skylar Diggins-Smith.
That's a lot on the bench.
That's a lot of points. Cloud, count the 3, and a foul's called.
Oh, Cloud.
Wow.
Let me tell you, you just talked about how fun it is to watch her be the floor general. What I love to watch about Natasha Cloud is how she plays with such joy. She doesn't treat this like a job. She treats this like something so fun that she gets to do with some people that she really, really likes. And I think it's contagious amongst her team.
Yeah, Cloud was actually dancing in her tees, and then when the players were introduced, she was dancing again. Elena Delle Donne slicing in. And Delle Donne with the Baker's dozen, 13 points in the ball game, 5 of 7 shooting, and she's only played 10 minutes. Lead goes to 13. Biggest lead for Washington's been 14, and Kayla Davis, little banana split. Let's go back to Deladon. She can beat you inside and outside. She's so versatile.
She does, and she moves so well off the ball. She recognized all the help that was congested along the baseline and found that little open space for her teammate to find her. And her release, she can hold it so high, which makes it so hard to really contest that shot.
Of course, she broke her nose back on July the 9th. That's why she's wearing the mask. From the outside, another three. 7 of 8 from beyond the arc. This is a Washington team that hit 18 three-pointers in a game earlier this year.
9 in the first half, and you get the sense that they might break that if Dallas doesn't get out there a lot quicker and force them into some more scoring ways than they are right now.
There's the versatility of Elena Deladon. Hawkins can also shoot the three. Cloud Gray comes out to meet her. Shot clock at 8. Hawkins rolls. How she ever got that pass. That was thrown behind her and put the big meat hooks up and pulled it down.
I wonder if she would have caught that back 2 years ago. Hawkins has worked so hard in changing her body. She had a baby in 2017, a boy, and when she had to work herself to get back into shape, that provided her with an opportunity, I think, to really take it to the next level. And as she's transformed her body, it's helped her transform her game.
Absolutely, and she can hit the three, and she hits the three. 7 of 9 from beyond the arc the first time these two teams met. In Washington, they want that #1 seed, and Brian Agler takes a timeout, and Enrique Ogunbowale just slams the ball to the ground. Frustration showing, and it's going to be a full timeout. Washington unstoppable from beyond the arc. They're shooting 89%, 8 of 9. The main reason they lead 46-27. In support of WNBA Breast Health Awareness, visit WNBA.com/assess-risk and put awareness into action to reduce your risk of breast and ovarian cancers. Along with TCU head women's basketball coach Reagan Peevely and Katie Ingleson, I'm Ron Poole. Good to have you with us. 3-point shooting, the key.
Oh, my gosh. They're shooting 8 for 9 from the three-point line, and they're doing it wide open shots. They don't take bad shots. They missed one shot. It was by Tiana Hawkins. And maybe if you're the Mystics and you miss a 3, you get benched. I don't know. It seems like it's such automatic that you hit it. But it's just way harder to do than us sitting here and talking about it and guarding that three-point line.
5 of the 8 players that have played have hit the threes tonight. Izzy Harrison with the offensive rebound. Works on Hawkins. Here's Enrique. Hawkins switches on her. Izzy inside. That's going to be a block. And I think it's going to be on Natasha Cloud. She tried to come over and close off the lane, but she commits the infraction.
She does. She's a secondary defender, and she's got to be able to be there outside that restricted arc before we see Izzy land. She doesn't allow Izzy to land. Easy call for that baseline official.
Shot clock at 9. Kayla Davis, Deladon comes out on her. They switch. Johnson into Harrison. Harrison, nice up and under move. Can't finish it out. And Hawkins just rips the rebound away. That's her second board of the ball game for the 28-year-old out of Maryland. Hawkins again. High bounce. Glory Johnson tips it. Elena Deladon comes up with it. Nice cut to the hole. Can't finish it out. And Harrison with the rebound.
It's that off-ball movement that Washington's so good at.
Inside, Enrique. Count it, and she'll go to the line. 2nd and 1 for Enrique tonight.
Since the All-Star break, Enrique's averaging over 22 points a game. That's only second to Brittany Griner.
That's pretty impressive.
Look, she does it against 2 and 3 defenders most games. Most of these possessions, you can see she's attracting so much defense. So her physical ability to finish is excellent, but she's also doing a great job sharing the ball.
And she'll go back to the line after getting the offensive rebound and drawing the contact.
That's competitive heart
Big
right
time.
there. Elite competitors never focus on a scoreboard. They are focused on the possession at hand and how can I be my best right now for my team.
Well, Megan Gustafson will check in for the Dallas Wings. A contingent of Iowa fans sitting up in the stands, of course, where Megan played. Kayla Davis goes out. Megan Gustafson checks in. And Enrique Ogunbowale at the line. 8 points in the ball game, tying Alicia Gray and Glory Johnson for highs, and now she's got 9.
A lot of people wonder, how can the Mystics beat a team like LA by 30, 40 points, beat Connecticut by just as many points? It's because those players on the perimeter and how they move off the ball, post players are not used to guarding that. And Megan is going to have her hands full trying to find a way to guard out on the perimeter in this off-ball movement with this offense of Washington.
Now Washington, a WNBA record, 12 wins by 20 or more points. Ogunbowale, Cloud comes out to meet her. They double. Harrison left open. Makes them pay.
No time flat. They get the ball into Elena's hands, and these are opportunities that they look for, these mismatches and ISOs, but great job in putting some pressure on the ball by Glory.
Here's Enrique, pull up from 15, gets her own rebound. Oh my goodness!
It's like she tossed it up for herself. She knew,
Exactly.
I'm not going to make this, so let me at least create an offensive rebound.
But Cloud goes back door for the easy layup to answer. Natasha Cloud averaging 9 points in the ball game. Washington's all-time assist leader. 6 minutes gone by here in the second, and Enrique gets it back. A little bit of an opening. Tried to flip it up. Can't get it to go. Here comes Walker Kimbrough, the 24-year-old out of Maryland. Back to Cloud. Played for St. Joe's. Started out at Maryland. Mieseman. 5 on the shot clock. Walker Kimbrough to the hole.
The ball moves from player to player, from side to side, from paint to perimeter. It doesn't stick in one place very long at all for Washington.
Well, you look at the scouting report on Shatori Walker Kimbrough, and it says very quick. We saw it there. Enrique knocks down the 3.
You mean a rookie, not Enrique?
Yeah, there you go. I like that. See, we could have had the PR people do that. A rookie for Rookie of the Year, but Elena Delle Donne comes right back and answers. Delle Donne with 15 here in the opening half. One of 2 Mystics already in double digits even before halftime. Enrique just lost the handle into Walker Kimbrough. Gray to beat, and she does. Lead up to 16. The biggest was 19. And timeout's going to be called by the Dallas Wings. Enrique Ogunbowale, 14 points, 2 rebounds, and 3 assists, and she got one of the rebounds on her own. And that was impressive.
Absolutely. And this is a important timeout for Brian Agler because he's trying to stop the bleeding.
Right.
And it's hard. You just hope that a timeout might do the job. It just slows them down a little bit. I think he also has to utilize his timeout in order to get some players a breather. And this is that moment. Well, we'll see if they can find it. Well, right now here in the College Park Center, we're seeing the Washington Mystics take a quick and early and hot lead, 54-38. And a lot of it has to do with Elena Delle Donne. I'll tell you what, she passes up millions every year to not go overseas, and she does it so she can stay home and be with her sister Lizzie. But it also allows her to work on her game. It allows her to be rested, unlike a lot of these WNBA players. And it allows her to put those kind of numbers up game in and game out. That's special, and that's record-breaking.
I'm telling you, she is having a remarkable year. She doesn't press, lets the game come to her. Brooke McCarty-Williams is checked into the lineup from the outside. Kayla Davis, no. Anigwe can't get it, and here is Natasha Cloud again. Outstanding leadership on this team from Cloud. Head coach Mike Thibault telling us before the game, this team has outstanding off-the-chart chemistry. Della Don is fouled. And as a coach, when you hear that from a coach the caliber of Coach Thibault, he loves his chemistry. He said, hey, my Connecticut teams were pretty good. This team's off the chart. What do you think?
Well, what's amazing about it is you can have a team with some good chemistry, but it doesn't always necessarily produce that kind of synergy that you need on the floor for one reason or another. But it is producing it on this team, and he's matched his system offensively and defensively to this team's not only skill set, but their chemistry. And I'll tell you, their chemistry and their productivity and leadership is coming from their locker room as much as it is from Coach Thibault. And Natasha Cloud has so much to do with that. She will not let them take their foot off the gas right now. When they secured that spot in the playoffs, Ron, she said to her team, how are we going to separate ourselves now? And they want that 1 or 2 seed bad, and we'll have a chance to talk more about the playoffs in the second half.
Anigwe can't finish it out. Here comes Washington already on the run. Ariel Atkins checked back in the lineup. A couple of UT players. Cloud for 3. Anigwe comes up with a loose rock. I love it. The play ago, Brooke McCarty knocked over her former backcourt mate at Texas, Ariel Atkins. Those two had a very special bond when they played down in Austin.
They did. You know, Brooke McCarty is a fighter, and we know right now she's not playing, feeling her best, a little under the weather. But you won't see a difference in her step, in her competitiveness, in her fight.
Closing in on 50 seconds left in the half. Fall away, no. Anigwe getting playing time again, a lot of it. She's got her 3rd board of the ball game.
Well, I don't think they brought her here to sit the bench.
No. Glory Johnson knocking down the 3, her 3rd of the ball game, and 32 on the season. Most 3-pointers made in her career. Della Don, no. McCarty-Williams a little under the weather tonight. Told me she didn't want to go out with Ariel Atkins last night. Former teammate, she goes, Mr. Ron, I was sick, and I didn't want to give it to her.
Well, and that's just how awesome Brooke is. She calls you Mr. Ron.
Always does. She and Teresa Plaisance and Azrae Stevens. Outside, Glory again. Back in the iron, Megan Gustafson. Offensive rebound and put back, and the Iowa fans in the stands love it. Showing good effort to end quarter number 2. But the Wings, they trail by as many as 19. They've cut it down to 13. Enrique Ogunbowale with some acrobatic shots, checking in with 14 in the opening half, standing by with Katie Engelson.
You were all over the floor in that first half. Where were you finding your advantages?
Really offensive rebounds. That got me going a little bit and just trying to be in attack mode.
What do you need to do to stop them and their production from beyond the arc?
You know, they're moving the ball really well, and on the opposite side of the end, they're playing good defense. So definitely just try to stop the ball at the point of attack so we don't have to rotate too much and get us out of our positions.
Thanks for the time. Best of luck, Enrique. Thank you.
All right, Washington shooting 62% of that opening half, 8 of 13 from 3. That's one of the reasons they have the big lead. Coming up at halftime, had a chance to sit down with Ariel Atkins, talk about her career at Texas and her former teammate, Brooke McCarty-Williams. Wings trail by 13. What did head coach Brian Agler think? Well, we've got that for you.
Coach, the Mystics shooting 62% from the field on the three-point line. Defensively, where do you adjust?
Yeah, we got off to a real slow start defending the three-point line, and especially the first quarter. So We have to make a couple adjustments with our defense. We did there in the second quarter, got a little bit better, but we're going to have to really compete hard. So get stops and get in transition, try to control the game that way.
Thank you for your time, Coach. Best of luck.
So Washington 12-1 when they lead in intermission, rejected by Glory Johnson. Davis has Gray, takes it herself, tries to go around Delle Donne. Can't get it. Ogunbowale looked for the steal. Cloud comes away with it. In the corner for three. No. Miesemann pulls it away. Delle Donne, catch, shoot, make.
You know, honestly, if you look at the stats for Dallas, their offense is doing a pretty good job. They're 46% from the field. They're shooting 46% from the three. They're doing some good things there. But there's this whole other end of the floor called defense, which is really, really trying them. And that's where Brian Agler just wants to see, as we see a rookie find an incredible highlight again. She's just endless with them. But their defense is going to have to find some ways that they're going to have a shot at this game.
Enrique Ogunbowale now with 17 points in the ball game. Washington cannot answer. Lead cut to a dozen, but you and I have seen the Wings a couple of times this year chip away at big leads and just really turn it up a notch defensively, so we know they can do it. Harrison. Acrobatic shot to no avail. Here comes Atkins.
I think that's being generous, calling that acrobatic. I think it was a little desperate, actually. She found herself at a point where it's like, oh no, what do I do with it?
You get up in no man's land on that. Natasha Cloud. Miesemann rolls, nice kick. This is classic Washington basketball. Can't finish it out. Delle Donne got it. Fights inside, just shows patience.
I'll tell you another thing that I think Elena Delle Donne does so well is she just maintains balance. She plays so fundamentally well. She's always grabbing the ball with two hands, passing with two hands, lands on 2 feet. She does things fundamentally in an excellent way.
Enrique Ogunbowale tosses up her 13th field goal attempt of the ball game. She averages 16 a game. Jump down inside. Sanders works her magic.
Again, when they can hurt you from the three-point line and they start to sense that you're extending your defense, they then go find the mismatches in the paint. And they really believe that every single player on the floor can be a presence inside.
And here comes Cloud. Had Miesemann spotting up. They drop it off for Sanders. Ball is loose. And that'll be a jump ball.
This is what Brian Agler's talking about. We have to compete hard. Go after every single one of these loose balls. See if you can create some momentum out of your defense.
And that's one place where Brian has talked extensively this year to us about wanting leadership on the defensive end. He said, you know, you play good defense, the offense will take care of itself. But that first half was not the essence of good defense for the Dallas Wings, as Washington shot 71% of that opening 10. Cloud gets a little space. Harrison cuts it off. Zips it inside. Miesemann. Glory Johnson thought she held position. Foul will be called on Glory.
When you're in that situation, you have to be so straight up in the air, fingertips to the sky. You can't bring your arms down in any kind of way. And that's what the official sees, is that she's got her arms down, which is not allowing that movement into the shot by Miesemann.
Miesemann with 14 points in that opening quarter. Didn't score in the second. Already with 16 tonight. Don't forget Game 2 coming up on NBA TV. We'll have Los Angeles and Las Vegas. The Sparks, the number 3 seed currently. Las Vegas 4. Las Vegas has lost 3 in a row. Davis, no. Delle Donne uses the left hand to keep Harrison away.
We spoke about this briefly, but the playoff format this year is a little bit controversial because there's only 3 games that separate 1 through 4. Arike. She's in the open court.
No.
She's phenomenal.
She's going to take it.
She's so good in the open court. But there's only 3 games that separate them, 1 through 4. So the difference between a 3 seed and a 2 seed is single elimination.
Right.
And really, this is a year that so many teams have found themselves upset. So you don't want to be in that situation.
Glory Johnson coming up with a steal, just picks the pocket.
Well, let's take a look at this playoff format. Here you see the top 2 seeds receive the bye to the semifinals. That's a double bye, so huge benefit there. 3 and 4 seeds receive the first round bye, but then it's single elimination. And again, one thing that we have to notice too about the WNBA and the history of the WNBA is the team that has been the scoring leader has won the championship 17 out of the 23 years of the league. Right now, the Mystics are that scoring leader.
Right.
The other thing of note is it is so rare. I think it's one time out of the last 10 years that an Eastern Division team has won the championship. And right now we're looking at a 1 and 2 seed possibly coming out of the Eastern Conference.
They have both coaches, Connecticut, Kirk Miller, Mike Tebow, Washington, outstanding jobs this season. Atkins, back to Atkins, shooter's mentality, doesn't get it. Alicia Gray pulls it away, Wings trail by 15. Ogunbowale might need some help. Glory Johnson for 3. Glory Johnson with her 4th from beyond the arc tonight. Where did that come from? We talked about the last 5 games. Glory was just 2 of 19 from beyond the arc.
It's always a tough call with Glory when she hits those threes because she can have hot streaks, but then she also can find some streaks where she's just anemic and being able to hit and find that flow. She's a type of scorer, though, that is a rhythm player. She needs to have that confidence, and she needs to know that her coach and her teammates want her to keep shooting the ball.
Well, she got her career high three-pointers made earlier this season with 5. She's one off that. Here is Cloud at the line. And it'll be Dallas's basketball, says referee Billy Smith, joined by Cheryl Flores and Daryl Humphrey on the floor tonight. 14-point advantage. Wings trailed by as many as 19.
I hope these officials are going to get some good rest when the season's over because they got NCAA women's basketball coming up, too.
That's what Billy Smith and I were talking. He goes, we don't have a whole lot of rest. So we go right into women's basketball.
Yeah, and when they get into that level, then they're officiating 3-4 games a week with travel. I don't know how these officials do it. And I think the respect level is continuing to grow between players as we see this incredible play, again, by Arike. When she gets her left hand, I'll tell you what, she's either going to score or get to the free throw line. But I think these officials and these players at the WNBA level have a common respect for each other.
Yeah.
There's a humanizing of them. They both have to travel the way they have to travel and are doing everything they can to continue to elevate this league and they all believe in the league so much.
8th straight 20-point game for Arike Ogunbowale, checking in with 22. Last 2 games, 57 points for Arike Ogunbowale. Here's Della Don. Catch, shoot, doesn't get it. Offensive rebound. Sanders with a pump back. She is such an athletic jumper and rebounder.
She is, and I love that she's having the season that she's having. She's had a rough few years. In 2012, her dad passed. In 2016, she was out nearly the whole season due to the Olympics. In 2017, surgery on her heel. And then she started to miss a handful of games in 2018 because she was diagnosed with anemia and had blood transfusions. So to see her productivity is phenomenal.
Well, the Wings have a shot clock violation with 4:15 to play here in quarter number 3. Washington impressive. They lead at 68-54. 27 points a ball game. We're seeing her repertoire tonight.
Well, listen, as Beyonce said, to the left, to the left. When you allow her to get to her left, this rookie is going to score. Whether it's the little escape dribble to the left, the open court to the left, the pull-up to the left, she's irreplaceable.
How about the Rookie of the Year resume? 5th in the WNBA scoring, leads all rookies. August, over 24 points a game. 16 games now with 20-plus points. And as we mentioned, 8 straight for her. You know, and Skylar Diggins-Smith put a tweet out the other day that Arike Ogunbowale should be Rookie of the Year. In some of the comments against Arike, I openly was laughing.
Hate us.
I know.
Hate us.
You know, one person says, well, she's only played well in the second half of the season. Oh, really? Okay. Walker Kimbrough knocks down the 3.
Well, I think to Brian Agler's point about that, yes, she has played better since the All-Star break, but she wasn't playing poorly before that. And on top of it, she's playing better basketball, not just in scoring, but on the defensive end and assists and floor management. As Brooke McCarty-Williams opens the bucket again for Dallas. But she's doing it playing the point guard position. And that's not a position Arike has ever played before. She's playing out of position, out of her nature as far as having to be that floor general. But she's a competitor and she's eager to grow and be a long-time impact in the WNBA. And she's learning on the fly.
Absolutely. Miesemann, 19 points in the ball game. 4 of 4 from beyond the arc. Delle Donne paces Washington right now with 21 as we hit the 3-minute mark of the third. Davis has it knocked away by Sanders, and she's the last to touch it, Kayla Davis. And then she gets a delay of game.
Well, again, Davis has the ability to be a great scorer herself. She's not finding the opportunity to be as easy as she'd like to finish at the rim. But I like it when she stays aggressive like we're seeing tonight.
The drive, count the basket by Shatori Walker Kimbrough.
That Horns alignment for Shatari is a tough one to guard because sitting in those corners are three-point shooters. And it's not an easy decision to rotate off of them to help. That's a long slide and a closeout if that help comes for the kick.
Walker Kimbrough, 3 years, she's missed just 10 free throw attempts. Coming into this game, she was 96 of 106. 1 of 1 tonight. Harrison sees the double from Atkins, who shows it, then backs off. Brooke McCarty-Williams. Izzy can't get it. Rebound loose. Harrison battles for it. Atkins had it. Washington's got it. A whistle and a foul is going to be called. And a technical foul is going to be called. Let's take a look at it again.
Well, again, the Izzy Tizzy right here is what we like to call it, is that she's going to crash the boards hard and create loose balls. She's a possession getter. But right here, there's just a lot of intensity and fight for it. And I believe the technical foul was called on KD. Must have been something said or a little bit of an extra push. Well, I didn't see it, but the official clearly did.
Elena Delle Donne now 96 of 99 from the free throw line. She hits the technical foul. And then the actual foul shots will be taken by Latoya Sanders. Wings wanted to substitute, but they're going to have to wait. Latoya Sanders in her 7th year out of North Carolina. Drafted back in 2008, 13th overall by Phoenix. Played with 4 different teams in the WNBA. And you talk to coaches around the league about Latoya Sanders, they say she may be the smartest player on the team defensively.
She has to be because of all the type of positions she has to guard. She's got to know not just game plan for everybody and scouting report for everybody, but she has to have that understanding in systems that they're getting ready to play against. And she's the anchor of the defense a lot of times and the source of the communication.
23-point advantage for Washington, their biggest of the ball game, closing in on 2 minutes to play in the third. Shot clock at 3. Izzy Harrison lets it fly. No. Anigwe offensive rebound. Alicia Gray to the hole, leans in, counting.
That's a seldom foul that we see committed by Elena Delle Donne. She's pretty smart about how to use these fouls, but this was one she was willing to take, and I love the aggressiveness in which Alicia Gray is going to attack that rim.
Alicia Gray has had a heck of a month of August, too. 4 of the last 5 games. She's been in double figures, and in that span, she's averaged 17. She's got 9 tonight, but the lead is still 20. Sanders up top. It's a 3 over Anigwe. No, Izzy Harrison pulls it away. 6 boards for his tonight. Gray sees a little bit of an opening.
I don't think she saw the basket, though.
No, I don't think she did either.
The side of the rim on that one.
And then Enrique knocks down Atkins and helps her up immediately.
You know, another thing that's special about Ariel Atkins is she's got a heart for this Dallas-Fort Worth community. She wants to do some special things in this community and has been reaching out to a lot of people to see what are some ways that I can really get involved in a meaningful way. And at this game today, she's got her high school coach, Lady Kathy Self-Morgan, here cheering her on and watching her. Obviously, she has her family here, as what was referenced in your excellent halftime interview, Rod. But as somebody who had to coach against her, and what I respected most about Ariel Atkins, and I've always compared her to a young Elena Beers with LA. Elena Beard, I think, has very similar tendencies to her. And the number one similarity for me is the intensity and sense of urgency that they always play with and practice with.
I think the practicing parts, and I mentioned in the interview, ball thrown away, we got a whistle and a foul. That'll be on Walker Kimbrough. But I remember walking in to a shoot-around game day down in Austin at the Frank Irwin Center, and there's Brooke McCartney, there's Ariel Atkins. The lights aren't even on. And they're shooting and shooting and shooting. And I said, you're not up first. It's the visitors. They go, yeah, we got to get some extra shots in. And Brooke McCartney, you see there, and they were gym rats.
Well, and hopefully that's a testament to hard work pays off. There is no escaping work when you have a dream. And I don't care if you're Ariel Atkins, if you're Elena Delle Donne, if you're Glory Johnson, or you're, Christina Anigwe. If you want to accomplish something, you cannot escape the work that it's going to take.
No. And here is Atkins. Really showed her defensiveness last year, being named all-rookie team. Last touch by Washington. It'll be Dallas's basketball, trailing by 20. Less than 50 to play here in the third. Washington outscoring Dallas by 7 here in quarter number 3.
Right now we're seeing a little bit of almost like a zone out of Washington, and that's how you can see teams sometimes as Izzy Harrison gets wide open underneath the rim. When they've got this kind of comfort and they know they just have a few games, they might try and put in a few things to work on before playoffs, because it might work and it might be something that helps their team, and it also just might be something that other teams feel like all of a sudden they got to prepare for.
You can't prepare for what Elena Delle Donne just did. She's got 24 points, 7 rebounds tonight. Just so smart and patient on offense. Collapsing defense. Wiesman puts up the hand, and that's the way quarter number 3 will end. So Dallas gets outscored by 7 here in the third. We'll head to the final stanza, and the Washington Mystics want to hold down that top spot of the WNBA standings, lead by 20.
Welcome back to the College Park Center. Joining us now is Wings assistant coach Crystal Robinson. Coach Agler at the half told me that he wanted his team to compete. What can be said of the team's response after the break?
Well, we got to quit making so many mistakes. We cut it to 12, and then we have a chance to cut it a little more, and then they make a big play. But Washington's, you can't take anything away from them. They're a really good team. If you make mistakes against them, they're going to make you pay.
Arike Ngumbawale, what can be said of her efforts through the first 3 quarters?
She's trying to do whatever she can to put the ball in the basket to help our offense out a little bit. But we got to get the ball moving a little bit more on offense.
Thank you for the time. Best of luck.
Arike Ogunbowale, 22 points in the ball game, 5 assists. And, you know, a lot of people talk about the scoring all the time, but you forget that Arike is also averaging, on the season, almost 3 assists a ball game.
Again, that's part of her growth, I think, throughout this season, because as she's seen more double and triple teams, she's understood and had court awareness.
Alicia Gray over the outstretched hands of Elena Delle Donne.
Now, I think Dallas has done a nice job opening quarters, coming out of timeouts, but it's a sustained effort and sustained commitment to the game plan and how you're going to find your shots on the offensive end and how you're going to take certain things away on the defensive end that has to be there.
And Delle Donne draws the foul. Want to take a second and welcome our friends from Monumental Sports watching in the Washington, D.C. area. And we're glad to have you with us tonight. Also, Azurá Stevens successfully had surgery earlier this week. Got a nice little note from her saying she's feeling better and looks forward to beginning rehab and getting back on the court for the Wings. Azurá, we miss you.
Again, you know, there's a lot of discussion about who the Rookie of the Year is going to be, but I know there's a lot of discussion about who the Coach of the Year award is going to be. Now, the obvious one a lot of times goes to the team with the best record, the team that maybe had the biggest turnaround. But sometimes your best coaching jobs, as we look to Brian Agler, are not necessarily when you get 20 wins. It's when you take a team that maybe had a whole nother set of expectations to start the season, and everything goes down the tube.
Right.
They lost a player, like you said, Azurá Stevens during the year. They lost a Skylar Diggins-Smith, a Taylor Hill that they were counting on. Injuries to a Kayla Thornton. They have just had nonstop major impact players unavailable throughout the season. And what that does to a coach when he's trying to perform and help a team to get to their best is nothing short of stressful. And I just want to commend the job that he and his staff have done.
The reason she's yawning, she's got a baby. Okay, we'll stick up for her. I mean, I watch my grandson for 8 hours. I'm ready to go to bed when I get home.
I hear you, and it doesn't stop, right?
No.
It doesn't stop.
Good thing being a grandparent. Here you go. We're gone. They're yours. Delle Donne fall away, tough shot. Nice job, offensive rebound by Sanders. Hawkins, little hesitation. And Nigwe pulls it away. And Nigwe with 5 rebounds in the ball game. The good news for her, the rookie getting a lot of playing time over the last 3 or 4 games. Here's Glory Johnson. That ties her career high of 3-pointers made with 5. Cuts the lead down to 14.
We've seen this Dallas team come back big time in fourth quarters.
Came up just a bit short in their last home game, but this is reminiscent of that. Delle Donne, no.
And I'll tell you, too, something that Dallas has got to keep in the forefront of their mind is they're going to see this Washington team again. So you can't let this Washington team think that there's any quit in you.
Laurie tries the 3 again. In fact, these two teams meet in less than a week on the 6th of September back in Washington. Miesemann will come back into the lineup. You know, we talk about all-time winningest coaches. You can see Mike Thibault, Brian Agler, 1 and 2, but Dan Hughes is going to be making an appearance here in Dallas finally on Sunday, next Sunday with 278, and Bill Laimbeer with 262. And what they all have in common, except for Mike Thibault, they've all won titles. Mike's never won one.
Well, I'll tell you, I think one of the biggest victories on that list is Dan Hughes, and that's cancer. And we've got to just, I mean, there's probably not enough we can say to how the WNBA, the Seattle community has rallied around him, but the perseverance that Dan Hughes has shown and the example that he set is just something that I admire tremendously.
His attitude when we were texting back and forth when He sent me the message he was having cancer, never a negative tone. Gets a lot of support from his faith and his wife, Mary. We'll be back after this. Along with TCU head women's basketball coach Reagan Peebley, I'm Ron Thulin. Dallas Wings 8-2 here in quarter number 4 over Washington. You and I have seen it throughout the season. Dallas digs themselves in a big hole, but the fourth, they always seem to put on some kind of run.
They do, and I think that's part of the culture, again, that Brian Agler is preaching to. It's not that they dig themselves out, but that they always fight. That they always are finding a way to continue to show what their identity is about, build a toughness about them, and trust in their defense to create some offense. And that's when they've had their biggest runs, is when their defense has gotten big-time stops and they can get out into that open court.
And we've seen them stick with the same five who's showing effort. We saw it last week versus Atlanta. Delle Donne tries to go baseline, draws the foul, but he sticks with the people that are giving effort in the fourth quarter. He doesn't care how many minutes you're going to play.
He doesn't. I think that's always been a staple to Brian Agler, is he wants to really focus on is what are you doing for this team right now? What are you bought into? He doesn't get caught up in hype. He doesn't get caught up in any kind of stat that you might have brought into the organization from wherever you were before. He wants to know is what are you doing for the Dallas Wings right now?
Shot clock at 7. Cloud. Gray switches on her. Meesseman with 2 to shoot. Ariel Atkins not going to get it off. Good defensive stand by the Dallas Wings. Great job switching on a number of players.
Really good job switching. And it's so important for players to have that defensive awareness of shot clock, because as Ariel was coming off that on-ball screen, had they not engaged 2 defenders, she would have had time to maybe find an easier and quicker shot or pass.
Here's Enrique. Tough ball away. Anigwe, nice offensive rebound. Gets it out to Gray. Atkins with a hand in the face. Enrique leans in off the glass. No, fights for her own rebound. And Anigwe, the last to touch it. I think that was a good call by the officials.
Well, Enrique right now, I think, is trying to give us all something to write home about with some of these special ISOs that she's going to get. But I think what is great about that situation is the officials had each other's back. It wasn't left to just the one official on the baseline.
Meesseman, they throw it away. Wings only down by 14. Plenty of time left in this game. Laurie Johnson, elastic arms. Back to Glory, looking for her 6th 3 and got it. Career high 6 3-pointers made for Glory Johnson. She's got 20.
Well, listen, they're only down 11 points right now, Ron. This game is winnable for Dallas. And if they can keep finding some additional scoring out of players like Glory with this last 5.5 minutes, we might see this go down to the wire.
Sanders gets way down deep and gets the easy 2. Glory Johnson tying her season high tonight with 20. Harrison will come back into the lineup for Dallas. Enrique on the drive.
Going to crawl into this and make it a game. You're going to have to follow scores like that up with stops.
Meesseman sees the double. Sanders from 15. Anigwe, nice job tonight. That's her 8th rebound of the ball game. Inside, Gustafson leans inside.
When Dallas was at Phoenix, they had to come back a bit after the hit-and-run incident. And Megan Gustafson was a part of that lineup that made that happen.
Right.
And she's going to make some good decisions when she's got the ball in her hands.
Meesseman, tough ball away. No. Nice job. Gustafson blocking out.
Does Dallas have enough gas in the tank to finish this out?
Anigwe inside, draws to contact and the foul. Anigwe, 1 off her career high in rebounds, will go to the line.
With these 2 free throws, Anigwe is going to have an opportunity here to cut this game to 8. She's going to have to catch her breath, to slow it down a little bit, get some poise under her, and find a way to finish these free throws and make it happen.
Both teams, a lot of players on both teams grabbing the shorts right now, taking big, deep breaths. Anigwe, no. Was 16 of 24 from the line since coming here to Dallas. Gustafson, nice couple of minutes, goes out. Harrison back in for the Wings. Dallas now 12 of 16 from the line. Best free throw shooting team in the WNBA. Washington 15 of 18. You're Brian Agler saying you're all right. You're all right.
Love watching Anigwe guard out on the perimeter. She gets those big steps, stays low in the stance.
Cloud launches, no. Harrison, Gogamawale splits the defense. Coast to coast, rejected by Miesemann. Keeps it in bounds. What a play by Emma Miesemann.
Again, we hear Brian Agler on that sideline orchestrating his defense and barking out some positivity to them, telling them you're good, you're fine, stay in it.
Now they double Miesemann, trying to get it to Deladon. Sanders pull up, no. Rebound, Glory. Wings trail by as many as 23 in this ball game. Ogunbowale looking for some type of room. Anigwe, a little bit of space, no. With Deladon fighting for the rebound, and Deladon and Anigwe go down hard. Getting physical inside. We've got a timeout, 2:51 to play. 87-79. The Wings have gotten into this game because of Glory Johnson's 20, a career-high 6 three-pointers made. Glory Johnson has scored a total of 16. She's got 20 tonight.
Well, the three-point shot's a big reason why she's been able to get to those double digits. And look, these are good threes for Glory. The ball's moving, it's going side to side, and they're uncontested threes. Her feet are set, and when she can get those kind of threes, she's going to find that higher efficiency rating.
Dallas outscoring Washington 16-4 here in the fourth. There was a question during the timeout about the shot clock resetting, but they put it at 24. And there will be a jump ball with Anigwe and Deladon. Washington during that timeout thought there may have been an elbow thrown by Anigwe. Officials did not even go to the replay. And Ogunbowale's got it. Gray. 2 to shoot. Launches. Doesn't get it. Izzy offensive rebound. Fights her way inside. Can't finish it out.
Dang it, great rebound by Izzy. And you just see her trying to split that double and hope that she can get an and one situation. She's playing hard and tough, and that's what Brian Agler wants to see.
Johnson straight up on Deladon, who goes to the left side. They knock it away. Tough ball away, no. Anigwe pulls it away. Her 8th rebound that ties her career high. Arike. Nice job by Cloud, just knocking it out of the hands of Anigwe.
Cloud passes up, throwing the ball ahead to her teammate, and understands that clock is on their side right now. They need to utilize every second they can.
Natasha Cloud, great growth the last couple of years. Ogunbowale. Walker Kimbrough to beat. I tell you, they're going to have to look at that. I didn't look like any attempt to go for the ball.
Well, we see here great defense and continuing to fight and play by Arike. And that's a tough call by the officials because clearly there was an intent to foul, but was there a play on the ball is going to be the question. And I don't feel like in that situation there was a clean play on the ball.
Well, when Dare, Enrique's brother, is here sitting courtside, he makes the call for us.
He does. We've seen him do that, and he's animated on that
Yes.
sideline.
Somewhere in Tampa right now, Dare is standing up in front of his TV and giving us the call. Here it is again.
Yeah, there's not a play on the ball there. That's all body, and if the ball was even hit, it was incidental. You know, I read an article where Dare said that when Enrique had her big 35-point game against Chicago in their last outing, that he was on the field and there was a game going on, and he hears a crowd, a fan yelling, "Hey, your sister scored 35 points." And he said that was one of the best things he's ever heard
I know.
from a fan.
Isn't that funny? He's so excited about his sister more than him. They are going to say it's just a common foul. So it'll be a two-shot foul for Enrique Ogunbowale, who's already checked in with 24 in the ball game.
I guess that was the coach coming out at me, thinking that
I
was
know.
not a common foul.
I think I agreed with you. I didn't think there was a big attempt at the ball. But our officiating crew of Cheryl, Billy, and Daryl are a lot better than I am at this. Lead cut to 7. Down one more. 1:32 to play. The Wings outscoring Washington 18-4 here in the fourth.
Dallas is going to need to make some things happen here. They can't sit and wait for the Mystics to try and just utilize this clock.
Deladon pump fake, leans inside. And Elena Deladon with 28 in the ball game. One rebound away from a double-double.
Well, again, that EDD stands for Elena Double-Double. And when you go for her pump fake, then you're going to allow her to get that double-double because she's going to get to the free throw line. She's going to get easy points. But ball movement is her best friend. And these teammates, I'll tell you what, they move the ball so well and they move off the ball so well with Elena. And when you watch this team, you also get the sense that they love her. They love seeing her be successful. And they want to do everything they can to help her shine. They also know, hey, when Elena doesn't play, we don't win. She hasn't played in 3 games this year, and all 3 of those games were L's for the Washington Mystics.
Once again, Washington #1 in the league in assists, almost 22 a game, 21.8. And we've seen it tonight, although only 17 this evening. Enrique. Then taken, Bake got it. 28 for Ogunbowale.
Here's where Dallas is going to need to speed the Mystics up. Natasha Cloud is experienced. She understands how to be able to maximize and manage this clock.
Wanting to get that #1 seed. Cloud with a scoop. No. Rebound. Harrison pulled it away, and they're going to call it a jump ball. Washington a half a game lead over Connecticut, who won last night. Connecticut has won the season series between these two. Talking to the Washington players tonight, they said, we don't want to rest, we want to win out.
They understand the importance of getting that 1 and 2 seed, so they understand it completely. If Izzy can tip this into this backcourt, Alicia Gray's got a free lane to the rim.
But a nice job of Cloud of stepping in on it. I tell you, that was a heady basketball IQ play by Natasha Cloud. Deladon leans in off the glass. No. Gray's got it. Timeout's going to be called by Brian Agler.
We got to give it to the Dallas Wings right now. They're in a 2-possession game with 27.2 seconds left. And timeouts on their side. Actually, that was their last timeout of the game. But it was looking like it could be one of those Washington Mystics Connecticut scores or Washington Mystics LA scores where they blow teams out by 30 and 40 points the way that first half was going, even somewhat into the third. But Dallas just kept chipping away and trying to find a way to find some success in this game, and it's paid off.
Once again, Washington, 56 points in that opening half. Look at the standings. This is why the starters are still in. That half-a-game lead. Once again, the last time Washington, Connecticut played, Washington won 102-59. Sparks in Vegas, they're coming up following this game. That'll be an important game. Las Vegas trying to snap a 3-game skid, but Washington wants that #1 seed. In the finals last year, want to return this year. And you get the #1 seed, you get the home court in the finals.
Last year, they got swept in the finals, and nobody was really expecting that. But again, the importance of Elena Delle Donne, that factor came through. That's when she got injured. She broke the nose, or she hurt her knee, and she gut checked it and gave her team everything that she had, but she just wasn't the same type of player.
Now, once she got that bone bruise, it was different. 20 seconds. Enrique. No. And that'll be an air ball. Washington will have it with 15.7. Brian Agler saying it was tipped, but I think Washington may burn a timeout. Dallas does have a couple of fouls to give, by the way.
Well, and the officials are going to go review this because Dallas believes that shot by Enrique was tipped by the defense of Washington. And again, I love that officials can go get this right in this moment, because you don't want to be in a situation where after the game they find out maybe the call should have been reversed. And I can't say from our viewpoint if it was tipped or not.
We couldn't tell from where we're sitting on that. And that's exactly what the replay, and you'll see this replay.
It didn't look like a tip to me, honestly.
Wasn't there either. There seemed to be a lot of space between the hand and the ball. So Dallas out of timeouts. Washington has a full and a 20 left. Dallas has one home game remaining. That'll be a week from tomorrow. Seattle comes to town. That'll be a 3 o'clock tip here inside the College Park Center. Chance to see the world champions.
You know, I thought, speaking of the College Park Center, we were going to make it through a game without hearing Old Town Road. But it's not quite the case. I'll tell you what, you turn on these tunes and just about anywhere, anytime, people are going to join in. And it's entertaining to watch.
Absolutely. Well, they did take a look at the replay. And now Washington's going to call a full timeout, I believe. Nope, they're going to call it a 20 now. So they're going to talk about it. It'll be Washington's basketball. 15.8 left to play in the ball game. I tell you, again, hats off to Dallas and the 5 players that have played this fourth quarter, Reagan. They never pitched the tent and said, we're going camping. We're out of here.
Nope, that's not at all the type of players that Brian Agler would allow to occupy his bench, his locker room. He wants a team that's going to continue to fight, and he's a great motivator, too. He understands and knows how to speak to people, when to speak to people, and how to encourage them to continue to fight. And he does it, honestly, I think, with honesty, and he does it with a lot of positivity.
Washington's basketball final 15.8. They've got a foul to give. Now they come out, and it's going to be too little, too late. No foul finally with 6.7.
Well, I don't think exactly who they wanted to foul was Elena Delle Donne, who is turning into the best free throw shooter in the WNBA. Again, we've talked about this in this game, but she is staring down a record-breaking season alongside her Washington Mystics teammates. She is almost towards the end of this season now. She is at over 50% field goal percentage,
unbelievable,
40% three-point percentage, 90% free throw percentage. That is special. That is elite. And again, that only gets done if you have teammates around you that other people have to guard.
Exactly.
And she can find those opportunities where she's one-on-one ISO.
Natasha Cloud now with 12 points in the ball game to go with 3 assists. You were talking about that 50%, 41%, 90%. No player in WNBA history has ever been able to do that. Valiant effort by Arike Ogunbowale. Goes coast to coast at the buzzer, and it'll count. So Arike Ogunbowale has her back-to-back